Winston has a smaller headshot hitbox than he used to, but you still see a lot of Winston players turn 180 when they jump at people. Again,
Zebo so easy.
That was Zebo this time. Narrowly avoids getting eliminated, but for the second time in a row, Prophet locates Sire player and dispatches him with relative ease. He's close to a pulse bomb now, and this could be devastating. Transcendence or otherwise, he lobs it in, but Zebasai's nimbly able to avoid it. Prophet will return to the point now, get a chunk of damage on towards Tvik, and then choose Awesome Guy. 15 to 20 seconds now, based on how long it's going to take for Birdring to return, and Sire player can see the man through walls now. So Birdring's put into a very limited sight line. And you can see that Sire player knows where he is at all times, but he's being jumped upon. Hagopin actually coming from the underside here, and the rest of the London Spitfire is set up on this high ground. Manaton has to drop down, but his defense matrix is essentially expired.
So flankers, a lot of teams running two flankers at a time, whether it's Sombra Tracer, Genji Tracer, just you need that flashbang to be able to take these guys down.
Awesome Guy getting chunked down there, Birdring a second too late on the flashbang. Sire player was able to recall out of that one, but Awesome Guy taking so much damage early on in the Primal Raid. Cooldowns on the jumps that he had available.
Like Manaton did on that point A. They deny that res, you wait for your Winston to come back in. That'll be a pulse bomb that goes for nothing.
Yeah, Manaton manages to eat that just with the tip of the cone, and now the Transcendence very well timed because Manaton was getting pretty well hammered down in terms of his health. You can see that, well, Prophet's still hunting for Zebasai in the back line, and Birdring setting up on the point here. Manaton doesn't want to give this McCree any room to work, and Birdring goes down. Awesome Guy leaps upon him. Both tanks from the Mayhem coordinate to dive the McCree, but Awesome Guy is finally felled by the Pulse Bomb of Prophet, and now they're looking for Tvik. The Genji's out of the picture now. Zebasai to fly across. He's discorded. He's down. Prophet's an easy finish off for him. These two tanks for the Florida Mayhem are working in tandem quite well. I spoke to Zebasai last week, and he said it's unbelievably easy to play with Awesome Guy. He's slotted into this roster very quickly. He says it's a dream. Yeah, great opening. Sire player find Hagopin there, and it's going to be all over very quickly for the London Spitfire on point A. Tvik's got a pulse bomb. The infra side for Sire player will be important when it comes to orchestrating the next push for the Florida Mayhem. Hagopin's been located on the point. He is not alone, but he's taken a lot of damage. Both DPSs from the Florida Mayhem leapt upon him, and there's a pulse bomb there from Tvik, combining nicely. Closer gets taken down by that one as well. 2 for 1. He won't say no to that. Now it's going to be Birdring trying to stay alive. Frustration surely starting to bubble to the surface as he's shunted off the point by Awesome Guy. Prophet is trying to get into the back line of the Mayhem in the opening, but everyone from Florida moves forward to benefit here from the Transcendence. Now they'll spread out once again, try and focus on defending their supports at the very least. Closer actually got that Resurrect on Gesture. There's a lot of value there combined with this Transcendence.
Yeah, they're going to use the self-destruct though from Manaton on the point to clear it out. Just a little bit more percentage. The Florida Mayhem need to close this one in their favor. Sire player takes out Hagopin. That's both supports dead here for London. It's going to be Birdring though with a Dragon Blade. Cuts through 2.
That's going to be enough.
Dragon Blade would be very difficult for the Spitfire to lose this.
Prophet now can only look on as much of the high ground play is occurring. Sire gets Birdring it again. The Genji struggling to make any sort of inroads against the Florida Mayhem, especially with the flash in play. Now Prophet doesn't really know how to proceed here. There's only Gesture off to the side. Fury gets demeched, and Prophet's trying to join in the pulse bomb there. Doesn't really amount to too much. Gesture down. Who's going to be at the point for the London Spitfire? The answer is just Fury. Prophet throws himself at her. He's down.
To Tvik many times. This is how they broke it so fast.
They're not
first time right back in here. Yeah, they let him
get one clip
every time.
There it is. Hagopin needs a pulse bomb, and Tvik is on a running riot. Awesome Guy's already gone down. But losing Hago and Birdring here is a lot of damage and a good chunk of healing missing, especially given that Closer can't heal everyone at the same time. Tvik opts to sit back a little bit. Valkyries for both Mercies here. Tvik's locked in a deadly duel with Prophet out in the periphery, and he's winning it for the time being. Gesture leaps onto the point. Sire plays waiting for a clear shot with a Transcendence there. We can still find clean kills. His infrasight told him that Birdring was waiting for the pick, but a double pulse bomb from Prophet. Nicely done. Manaton and Zebo were down, and Sire player being cleaned up. Couple of individual brilliance moments there for the Spitfire, Matt.
A straight dive here, but you see Prophet's double pulse bomb here. Drops it on the ground.
Straight up on the ground. That flank has kind of been given up in a sense. You can see he gets straight into the cookie jar, Matt. Immediately. Sire player with 3 though. What is going on?
Yeah, he has to back out. There's nothing he can do here. I mean, Gesture has had to put so much focus on the Sire player that everybody else on the team has been taken out.
Okay, well, give me that replay now.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at this. Right before that plan hole point comes up. The shot on the Birdring, that is so filthy there. Florida needs to extend this long enough for Zebo to get Valkyrie. Then you think that you can keep Zupe alive long enough to get his Transcendence, and then you'll also have a self-destruct and Primal Rage to extend this point.
Tvik again. Pulse bomb shenanigans. Oh, that one field goal pretty hard. Hagopin though, a lot of pressure being put on him, but the micro rockets of Fury enable him to claim.
Florida was able to take this first point, not able to complete anything there on point number 2.
There is, oh! Looked like he got hit in the shoulder. He'll get resurrected, but in the meantime, the Spitfire are going to move in, knowing that Sireplayer doesn't have any oversight of this situation. That Widow battle, there's so much riding on that one. Birdring wins it again, though. Sireplayer going down, and it looks like the Spitfire are taking no prisoners here. Manatyn desuited, almost looked like he hardly put a scratch on the backline of the Spitfire. And now Prophet can just stretch his legs and lean into the backline. He's looking very... You know, we normally talk about Bdosin as the big boy in the Zenyatta role on this team. At Prophet, that's the pulse bomb. This is the snowball effect we often see on this particular map. If an attacking team gets an easy first clear, they'll have ultimates come up quicker. And the pulse bomb has allowed them to break open this fight. And the mech, as Manatyn is kicked out of it now, evicted in fact. Hagapun falls to Tvik in the backline, but Birdring turns around and deals with a pesky ninja. Zebasai now going in for the Valkyrie here. Double support ultimates being used in desperation for the Florida Mayhem. They bring Sireplayer back into the fold. They have to hold on here, but Hagapun's not giving him a choice. Awesome Guys felled yet again.
Yeah, you do have a self-destruct here from Manatyn. Goes way deep. It's going to take out Birdring, so you don't have to worry about that Widowmaker in the backline. You see Gesture just trying to put some more pressure, trying to push players back here. But I think Florida's going to be able to stabilize.
Prophet backs away. Manatyn now getting taken very, very low. Notice the cheeky Zebasai back around the corner trying to heal the D.Va up, but unfortunately he couldn't out-heal the damage from Prophet, bearing down at a rate of knots on the D.Va. Zebasai's moved from the situation, but Zupo actually finds his 4th kill for this map. Make it 5. Wants to get in a tickle fight with Gesture. Just having none of it.
Just makes it a little bit more costly for Gesture to use that Primal Rage and go all the way in the back as well.
Oh no, he's not been noticed. Hagapun might be in trouble! Oh, it's 2! He rolls straight into Hagapun. Birdring was the one who got pulse bomb and Sireplayer cackling and rubbing his hands together. He knows
Gesture's going to be the one that has to get the touch. And Manatyn actually body blocks him at the point. He barely makes it there, though.
What's someone think of the supports? Awesome Guys zoning them out here. It's tough for the healers of the Spitfire to even access the point right now on his own. He's got Hagapun. Birdring's been taken down as a self-destruct on the point. Zebasai giving healing on the high ground, but he got too close to Zupo. Double pulse bomb kill from Prophet. Now it's Vic. He's up on that high ground. Prophet's on the point being pocketed, and so is Fury. A self-destruct. Give a couple brief moments of zoning and chance to take a breath from Manatyn as he resuits. Fury's down. He lost his mech to that self-destruct, and Awesome Guys the Primal Rage. Someone asked for a Riptire. There it is.
Bdosin going to use the Moira to tell me you're going to play really close on the point with Moira Lucio. You're going to play really, you know, kind of stuck to this corner. We see a lot of teams do this now instead of going to the high ground. You see the fade going in. Really nice plays here from Bdosin. You see what Moira brings, right? Just the damage and then the ability to just heal numerous people up very fast.
And it's very easy to use a Biotic Grasp to recharge your healing capacity.
Gesture will have Primal Rage. She'll jump right on top of Zupe. That Transcendence comes out instantly. It's going to be Sound Barrier used by the London Spitfire. And that's a tactical visor that comes through for Sireplayer. Just trying to chunk down some damage here on a Gesture.
Look, I mean, so much of his field of vision was filled up by Gesture there with it. So he had no choice but to use the tactical visor on his monkey assailant. That's a self-destruct. Sireplayer knows it, sees the icon, can't get away. Weoll places that very well. He's going to be hastily resurrected and brought back into the fight, and the numbers, to be honest, are favoring the Mayhem.
I think that's the one thing we haven't seen a lot of teams really figure out with Moira yet is the timing of this Coalescence. They're going to use it, just follow it up with their divers, right? Just push it right back onto Florida, put down the damage and the healing. Try and knock him back a little bit. They actually do get Awesome Guy with that Coalescence, so it picks up a kill.
Great pick off. Zebasai, can he get the resurrect? He can. Weoll punishes him for that, so we need to see what Awesome Guy can now do while he's lacking a pocket from Zebasai. The answer is not a whole lot. So London spent a whole lot on starting that fight in terms of ultimates that you sort of Coalescence cut across, but they got the first pick. Bit into this fight yet?
If Gesture jumps in, he can't jump out when that self-destruct comes through.
Well, he's jumped in, but he's down to half HP. Manatyn wants to chase him down, but it's the Coalescence yet again. Bdosin now sort of mostly using it for healing, as you can see. Just landing on Gesture as he came down. Sireplayer now with a tactical visor yet again. He can't really get past the monkey. Gesture jumps away, drops a bubble on his way through. And Sireplayer has the rest of that ultimate sort of cancelled out. The self-destruct doesn't really amount to too much, except for the D-suit on Manatyn, and Tvik was there.
Birdring. You can get a lot of good Deadeyes here in the final stage of this map as well. Don't rule that out.
Oh, Pulse Bomb got eaten there. Tvik couldn't connect that one. A bit of pretty juicy. Despite the fact the Transcendence was there. A Pulse Bomb on Orisa, that someone else would step close enough to Gesture to, you know, be caught out by that one. Here's Attack Visor now, a little bit hard, but Sireplayer's got a great angle to sort of get above that Orisa shield to a degree, and it's sort of forcing Nuss to stay in the underpass. They've only got a couple seconds to do so. Manatyn's got to run, but the hole actually slowed him down.
Interesting they wouldn't stay on Widowmaker because Sireplayer has gotten, you know, the better of Birdring in a lot of those engagements.
You know, he's not opting into the Widow versus Widow, so maybe he's, you know, they're throwing a different tempo of play at the Spitfire. Maybe they're not ready for it, or maybe Prophet just gets the immediate D-suit on Manatyn, and that's fine. And maybe he just kills Awesome Guy after. Oh. Florida going to come to them one way or another, just like this, and then they can just sort of counter-dive that. Sound Barrier, though, 5 players from the Mayhem get it. Zupe's hanging back as he tends to do, but Vixen now with the Dragon Blade gets to dash through Wuyao. Awesome Guy can be a lightning rod for damage and die, and the Mayhem can still win a fight outright. That's so big, Manatee, you filthy man! That one pick wasn't capitalized on perfectly, but now they're going to come forward with the sound barrier. Prophet wants Zupe in the back line. I know he's waiting for the Zenyatta. Birdering down, but Zupe did fall to Prophet. One support left right now for the Mayhem, and the healing is severely cut short.
Yeah, you can't leave Zupe in the back there against Prophet in that 1v1.
That is classic Florida Mayhem, by the way.
Yeah,
he often sits back.
So you're going to pretty much just let this Valkyrie burn out while Wuyao can test the payload.
All right, since Vic trying to go into the back line, we actually have seen a Valkyrie forced out of Nasus at least. Transcendence for Zenyatta's are both in play, but Wuyao gets desuited here, so there's not going to be any defense matrix in play. And Sire Player takes down Nasus. That's because there was no Diva mech there. Great response from Sire Player. Pulls the Deadite just the right time, and he's got 3. The McCree now starting to get his farming simulator on. 4 for Sire Player in this fight. Awesome Guy at least gets involved in some of the fighting, and where are the reinforcements going to come from for the Spitfire?
A little bit, alive a little bit longer in some of these fights. You see this both Deadeyes being used there. They're able to catch Nasus out in it. The 3 shots. So filthy here.
The question is, once they get there, can they push Birdring away so he doesn't have these sick and easy shots? Great sight lines to take. Oh, Jester low. He's down. Berdoshin actually was removed from the fight. And you can see the chase is on now into the backside. This is a new look from the Florida Mayhem. I've not seen this kind of killer edge before. And Birdring is still in position to get shots on the point. Jester to work the corner. No, they're getting pincered out now, Matt. This could be ugly.
Yeah, you needed to keep Awesome Guy up. They do get Berdoshin yet again, though. So Florida still hanging in this, just trying to stay on the payload, but
it's only gonna be Awesome Guy and Zebasai right now. The rest of the Mayhem are really staggered out. Oh, hello, who just dropped onto the point there? It was Sire Player. He's returned. The Pulse Bomb, though, is kind of committed to no effect, and Prophet has 1 here. He'll commit that quite happily to Awesome Guy. He'll fall. Not much he can do, about 400 damage straight to the face. And Zupe has to fade away. He doesn't have that cooldown available, which is when he's going to be the most vulnerable, so expect him to fall. Yes, he always had this coalescence. To pick on the Doomfist takes a huge chunk of damage before he even gets to the point. So the Mayhem here set up with a Genji Tracer defense, or a dive defense essentially. You can see, yeah, they want to bring the party to the Spitfire. I like this look against London. Take the initiative away from them, but it's kind of backfired, man. They've thrown themselves in. They go for it. It's a gambit. It doesn't pay off.
They just leave the supports in the back with Birdring, and he's able to take out one, get the other low enough to where they can't do anything. London, they'll stand on the point. They'll tick in their favor, and they'll take map number 2.